talking about how to build an app with AI. We've got a lot of cool demos today. I'm going to be showcasing 3 of them. And then before we get started, we'll do a little intro and tell you about our use case. But we'd love to hear from everybody in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. Also, we like to know who we're talking to. So if you're a creator, go ahead and throw creator in the chat. If you're an operations leader, go ahead and add that. Or if you're a leader in the IT department, that'd be great to know too. And that way we can tailor this content towards your use case. But super excited about this one. I was doing a lot of tinkering around with some new AI tools this week. Cam got to see all of my surprise faces. So definitely on the hype train right now. But what's new with you, Cam?
Yeah, I would say Google Next was so much fun. Really cool to see all the things that a company that utilizes AppSheet can start to utilize, whether that's all the Gemini stuff going around. If it's the one thing we're looking into quite a bit is the AI Studio with Firebase. Just like AppSheet allows you to set up some really good apps really quickly. And now that it allows PostgreSQL databases, you can actually connect your Firebase Studio apps to your AppSheet apps. So looking into all that cool stuff.
Lots of cool new tech coming out.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all that. All this fun stuff is entailing, and I feel like all these models, all these AI models are getting really good right now. And so if you haven't had your first experience playing around with them, it's a great time just to jump in them and get your first impressions whenever they're really powerful like they are right now.
Yeah. You were cutting in and out a little bit there, Cam. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or my computer went in and out real quick, but maybe it was good for the stream. But we got some people in the chat. Patrick Mulligan, welcome. Glad to have an IT leader from the Tampa Bay area. Hello from Canada. It looks like Brian Kim. And then indirect procurement category manager. Awesome. Great to have y'all today. So we got some
Brian Kim is
in the chat.
Friend of the show, a friend of QREW. He's a Google Next friend. Brian Kim, fellow
Brian
GDE.
Kim. Awesome. Let's go. All right. Well, glad to have y'all on the live stream today. I have a bonus piece of content, and we got Stefan in as well. Welcome, Stefan, CEO of QREW. So if we get enough chats, we also have a live Q&A coming. And during that, I'll have a bonus piece of content. So get your comments in. Let's shoot for at least 10, 20 comments in the chat. And if we get that benchmark, it'll unlock a bonus level for creating apps with AI. But with that, welcome everyone, and let's get into today's session. So we're going to talk about a real world use case and then how we're thinking about building apps with AI, and particularly what AI tools do we have available to help us build apps. Last week, we talked about including AI in an AppSheet app using AI tasks. So you can refer to that video if you want to know how to actually include AI features inside your AppSheet apps. And then if you're interested in other types of content, feel free to put that in the chat as well. Whether it's AI, Google technologies, or any other types of technologies that you're interested in learning more about. We've got a team of developers and love to have those guys on to answer those questions as well, and some tutorials. So we'll do the live app builds. We're going to go through at least 3, and then if y'all unlock the bonus level, we'll talk about the last one. We'll have live Q&A. So make sure you put your questions in. Let's get at least 10 questions in, and we'll have Cam on here to answer those questions. And make sure you stick around till the end so you can learn more. All right, let's get into the content for today. So I wanted to start off by showcasing one of our flagship clients, Ramko. They're really streamlining their operations through our business automations and our flexible retainer model. But the real power of what they're able to do is they're able to make a suite of apps and connect lots of different tools and platforms. So they're not just leveraging AppSheet. They're using a single source of truth, in their case, a Cloud SQL instance, and different integrations for common tools that every business is probably using, or a form of it. So they're using QuickBooks. They've got other tools over here as well, but the results are proof of no code, low code, and advanced integrations pay for themselves. So we've got $1 million plus in liability, labor liability risk reduction, just because they have all their data secured and they can leverage it. And then we have $150,000 in additional shipping capacity. They're a manufacturing company, so this is huge for them. And then overall, what we're going to be talking about today is employee onboarding. And so they build a lot of admin and HR apps. And with that, they've saved over 2,000 hours. So on the little YouTube thumbnail, I said 1,000 hours. We're actually exceeding that with just this one account. So the technology is very powerful, and it's exciting to see that the results are really just paying for themselves. So this is something that we're doing in the real world, and excited to show you guys how to implement it yourselves. So let's get familiar with some of the resources we have. So in the description below, you have access to this app already. So you just find app template, I think is what it's called, and follow that link. It will take you to our employee onboarding page. And this is really level 0. So all you have to do here for this one is go to our app page, select copy and customize, and then you can get started right away utilizing this app and customizing the features. So I wanted to share this one just so we can kind of set the baseline before we kind of really ramp up into how we're going to build this app in different forms with different AI tools. So just as a starter baseline. Okay, so let's take a look at this application. So we got our employee onboarding app here, and it's an onboarding system. Right when you open it up, it'll ask you to join the team. So it's got kind of like a user profile management system built into it. And then all you're going to want to do is go copy and customize, and then that will open it up on your AppSheet editor like this. Okay, and you'll get all the tables already built, and then you can add yourself as a user because it'll be on your domain and everything at that point. But let's kind of take a look around, see what the app's all about, and make sure we're familiar with how the app works. So we have the main menu, and the way the functionality works is to do the the screen where it's like join the profile or not. Join the team, is we have a show if user is in directory. And so we just set that to false if they're not in the directory and true if they are. So that way any user that is not in there is left, is just shown the join the team screen. And if they are, they get access to all these other views. So that's a fun way to kind of do a different style of a app portal view. And then we have departments. So that's just breaking it down into the different teams here. The team table is actually the user table. And so you can list the department ID as a foreign key, some different features like role, who's the point of contact, what's their status for onboarding, and all of those features. The resource page is where you're going to list all your onboarding resources. In this case, it's just a bunch of links to different resources that they can watch. And then categories just kind of breaks up each resource into individual categories. The activity log is just notifying which resources they've clicked on, and then completed is where they mark each specific resource as yes, they've completed this specific resource or not. Once you do that, you're just going to go to extensions, AppSheet, and create an app. In this case, we've already done that, so that is no longer there. But yeah, that's basic. Most people on this live stream probably know how to go through that process. So let's go to level 1. This is where we start introducing some light application development via AI. And we're going to try to create this type of onboarding app right here. So we'll just enter our prompt. You'll check the data structure, and then same process, you can copy and customize or create and customize your app inside of AppSheet. So for this one, we're actually going to go to the main appsheet.com portal, and then we're going to head over to create app and start with Gemini. And it's going to ask if we want to allow it, and then it'll prompt us to this screen. So
and
for this
feature is only available if you are a paid license. So anything Workspace Core or above, I believe even Starter will get you this feature.
Nice. Okay. That is good to know. Thanks, Cam. I also have this document, and Cam can put it in the comments too. If y'all want the prompts that I used to kind of create some of these tools that we're going to be making. So I'm using level 1 prompts. So we're just creating an employee onboarding app. You can do something as simple as build an employee onboarding app, and it usually gets it pretty close. Now with this feature, you're only going to be able to prompt it once, and then you'll have to restart every time if you want to like iterate if it doesn't get it right. And so the way I use this feature is the other thing is it's also going to create an AppSheet database, so it won't create a Google Sheet. In level 2, I'll show you how to do the Google Sheet feature. So in this instance, we're just going to create the employee onboarding app, team directory, and it lists some other things out. Really won't be able to complete these, and so we'll have to build those in later if we want those features. But with that, you're just entering the prompt and then selecting send. And while that's loading, how complex, James is asking, of an app can Gemini handle? Will it do bots? Not on this level. But I've got some other ones. Whoops. I've got some other ones in the bag later on, James, that if they work, should be pretty amazing. Okay, so what it just did is it made the AppSheet databases with the different columns that I asked it to. Or in some cases, it's like it's inferring what columns would go in which database. But it's got us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tables, and it's got associated columns. If you do want to edit them, you can just click the edit pencil and edit them right in here. And for the most part, I think these look good. One thing I do like about this is it gives you the type. So you can even edit the type there. You can add extra columns and select enum lists or enums for the drop downs, and even add in their values, which is pretty cool. The other great thing is it'll put in sample data so that you can see your app right when it's built, and it adds all the tables right when you click create an app, instead of like individual table assignment like you have to do with the Google Sheet. So if you like how it looks, you'll just go ahead and click create an app, and then AppSheet will work. Yes, we will be sharing the recording. It'll just post on YouTube, and then if you've registered, Cam, if you want to send that link, it's the appsheettrain.com/livestream. You'll be able to see the live stream there. And there we go. just like that, it created the onboarding HQ app. So it's got the employees listed here, and onboarding resources. So it came up with some resources that it thinks would be helpful. And then the resource completion page. So it's even got that feature and the activity log, just like we had in our original one. So from here, we just click customize with AppSheet, and then we can go and drill into each of these as we see fit. And if we wanted to view the data source, we'd click here, and that opens up our AppSheet database. And then we can go on and do our normal like app building process from this point. So that's a quick run through of the Gemini one, the Gemini feature in AppSheet. It's really great for like full connectivity. So like you just want to one shot something, kind of what you want to build and just get started. It's great for doing that, but you can't really iterate or go in depth with it. So let's look at level 2 next. So level 2 is kind of fun. Originally, like usually what I'm doing is I like to build in Google Sheets at first, but I call this one prompt to app. So I'm using Gemini as like my, as you call it, a second brain, to like ideate on what I want to build. And then instead of having to create all the data tables and the sample data, I actually, in this case, Gemini was like, we can just make an app script that will create the full Google Sheet for you and the associated sample data. And so that completely takes out that step of like, how am I going to create a table in general? And then there was just a feature release announcement on or yesterday from Google that AppScript is going to get Gemini built in to like a side panel, so you can prompt Gemini and go back and forth with that. And AppScript just got upgraded to a core service, which means it's going to be continually updated and kind of under all the guidelines that Google has for that. So that's pretty cool. So lots of updates coming there. So what we'll do on this demo is we're going to enter a prompt. We'll get the app script running, and then we'll just connect the app to AppSheet. Okay, so for this one, I'll go ahead and head over here to our second prompt down here. And then this document is a build guide. I don't know if I said it already, but it's also in the description. So if you want this, you can have this as well. Great question, Patrick. We'll get to that one in the live Q&A, unless Cam, you want to answer it in the chat. But for the second or level 2, we're going to do auto-generating the spreadsheet via AppScript. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and yeah, should just be this right here. And I've actually got it in the second tab right here. So this is actually the app script that works. And it just auto creates the spreadsheet for you. But for our demo, I want you guys to see that it actually builds the app script for you. But this is just like chatting with Gemini for any other thing. We just paste our prompt in there. We give it what we want it to build. Oh, thank you. And then it'll have the tabs and headers and all the different header rows. And we wanted to have the seed data or sample data. For this one, it said 2 rows of realistic sample data. And then it also tells it about the foreign keys mapping. And then I also put in there that it would provide step-by-step instructions for y'all. That's helpful for me too. And then that way we can go ahead and add it to our app script. And I'm just using the free version of Gemini, so just so that it's fast. Sometimes you can use Canvas. I like Canvas sometimes just because you can put it off to the side and then refer back to it later. But for this, we'll just use the standard feature and click submit. And it'll write the app script for us right here. And it tells us what it's for at the top and some other information about it right here. And then the rest of this is just some of the app script that we're going to use. So from there, we'll go ahead and copy it. And then what I usually do is open up a new sheet. And this is just how I access the app script editor. Also, side tangent. Google Sheets added this new feature build, and it's pretty sweet. So if y'all want to see a demo of that, it basically converts this into a like web application situation. So it's pretty cool. From here, we're gonna go to extensions, app script. And then, whoop. Try that again. I've never seen app script do that before. Okay, there we go. Okay. We'll put it on our list. Yeah, and y'all let us know what different types of demos y'all would like to see, tools, technologies. What are y'all using? There's lots of new tech coming out. I know a lot of guys are using Codex around the office and Claude Code. So if y'all are interested in that, let me know and I can get those live streams lined up as well. Okay, and then here I'm going to go back to the Gemini, see what it said. We should name this. Okay, onboarding setup. So we'll call it onboarding setup. And I'll go back to our app script over here. Onboarding setup. And I'll save the project too as the same name. And then from there, you are going to want to save it just like that. And then we'll click run. We'll have to give it permission. Okay. So now it's executing that. And what it does is it saves it to just your My Drive. And then the thing I like about this is it also gives you like a little link. So you don't even have to really search for it. And if you want to, but it's nice that it gives you, yeah. And there you go. There's your backend database, just straight from the app script. So it's got all our tables that we want: team, resource, department, category, activity log, completed, and our menu. And then from there, same process, extensions, AppSheet. Oh, why isn't it? It's interesting.
Well, you can do it from the other side.
Yeah. So if that's not showing up for you guys, we'll go back, close that, create an app, start with existing data, and we'll call it employee onboarding demo. And then we'll choose our data from here. What was it called? Employee onboarding backend. Search that. And there it is. And this one, you will have to add each table. AppSheet should find it. Once you add the first one, you'll go ahead and click copy and customize, go to data, but then the process is just add, and then all your tables are up here at the top. And so you would just go one by one, adding those in. And that's basically level 2. From that point, you're kind of really customizing the application. But in all of these demos so far, you have a functional app that you can read, update, edit, and write to. So it's got forms and everything for you there. So we've got
Can I say one more thing about that one?
Yeah, go for it, Cam.
With that one, you could also tell Gemini, ideally soon, inside of the actual AppScripts UI, you could tell Gemini to add more tables over time, add more test data. And so the good thing with this one, the con is that you have to actually add the tables individually yourself and set up the relationships, whereas the build with Gemini does that automatically. But the pro is that you can continue to iterate with Gemini instead of it being a one shot like the build with Gemini.
Yes. Yeah. That is why I kind of structured it this way too, is because like it progressively you can get more detailed with your prompting. This one, like Cam said, you can continue prompting it and iterate back and forth. It already has the context for your data source. So you just return back to that chat and say, hey, I want to update this, and it'll update the app script. You can go ahead and run that script again, and it'll continuously update it. So this one's pretty cool, and I prefer Google Sheets, as I have said before, and it allows me to just keep iterating and work in the same type of flow that I'm used to with AppSheet. So yeah, level 2 is pretty cool. And then the next one, level 3, is what Cam was talking about, Google AI Studio. So for this demo, I'm actually going to head over to this one. And this is what AI Studio built. It does take a little bit longer, so I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through the steps. But I'll show you the end first, just so that way y'all can see this. But for this app, you just type in your name, click get started, and it works like a web app. And then you have all your different resources here, team directory, and you can click on each of them. We can maybe go back. Where's the
Can
back
you hit
button?
system at the top?
I don't know. Nope. So have to iterate that a little bit more. Guess we'll just press the back button. That takes us out of it. And then it'll reload the whole app. But you have your resource hub. You can click on which ones you've completed and everything. I think I have to go into full screen.
I think full screen. Yeah, it adds that.
There it is.
That side menu.
And then you have your dashboard. You can see where you're at in your roadmap. And the cool thing about this one is it is custom code, so you could download all of this and then add it to what Cam, like a GitHub repository, or how would you actually publish this code?
Yeah, so there's actually a publish button in the top right. And so the cool thing about this AI Studio, it builds it all with Firebase. Firebase has built-in authentication. It has connection to database built in, and it also allows you to host. Another cool thing about this is that there's a feature all the way in the bottom left that says AI features, and it will spin up a Gemini API key for you. And it will build out the feature you want. So if you wanted to like have an AI summary of each of the different resources, you could have that automatically in the application. And it would spin up that key. And so essentially whenever you're building inside this platform, it's spinning up authentication, it's spinning up database connection, and spinning up a Gemini key, and it's hosting all that internally for free temporarily. And if you choose to publish, it will push those things to a paid production.
Oh, wow.
GCP SKU. But yeah, you could technically,
so you could just hit publish.
You could technically extract the code and pull it out and host it on a hosting service that works with Firebase. But you could also host it through their primary way of publishing it.
Nice. The other thing that I like too that is very similar to AppSheet is you can just click the share button, especially for an app like this that's internal. You can just share this specific link with your team for testing. You can default it to full screen, and you can copy the link and just send it directly over to them. So yeah, this one was really cool. I liked getting to explore this one. I'll also show you guys the prompt that I used, so y'all can see that one as well. So that was the previous one with Gemini. This is Google AI Studio, and I just used this prompt right here. Oh wait, is that the right one? Yeah. And then gave some instructions for deploying. And so what we would do in AI Studio is just copy this prompt. And you can see over here that I've just put it in here and got it, the initial prompt up here. But to start, you'll usually start in this playground area. When you first go to AI Studio, you want to navigate to apps, and then you'll create a new app. And then that's where you'll paste in your prompt. So we can do that real quick. It will take a bit of time. The other cool thing that it does that was kind of a surprise to me is, so we'll go ahead and say build, is once it builds it, it'll ask what kind of user experience theme do you want. So I was quite impressed with that. And it'll just let you click through like different cards, so you can see which ones you want. So I'll show you. I actually like this one a lot. This is pretty cool. But yeah, you can click through some of those like that, and select the one that you want. So we'll just go ahead and select this one, and select this design. And then you can see it thinking over here, and it'll go ahead and create all of that right out of the gate for you. So that is a cool, I think this is a newer product that Google's come out with. And the last thing I want to say about a couple of these solutions or products that I've shown you guys is most of them are very experimental. And so sometimes they'll work really well, and other times you'll run into some bugs where you're like, why is this not actually working? But that is just a little bit of the disclaimer there for working with AI technology. But it does look like we've got a ton of chats coming in. So what do you think, Cam? Have we unlocked?
Yeah, so Patrick was asking, what are the prompting limits of these tools? I would say with the build with Gemini feature of AppSheet, I would say it's pretty light. It's not expecting all the people to know fully what they want, but more to have a light starting point for them to take on a no-code tool. And AppSheet has a low entry of level of entry for development in AppSheet. And so it has a light prompting limit, but it allows you to easily configure it with no code after that. However, option 2 and option 3, those take, well, option 2 is considered a low code platform in app scripts. And that would that would require more app script skills. However, you're able to iterate on those prompts. You're able to communicate back and forth. You could have a 15-minute voice memo that you send Gemini of you just brain dumping everything you want the app to be, it consolidating that into an app script that creates the form, and then you import those tables into AppSheet one by one. And that process is a little bit more robust than the first one. However, level 3 is almost like a full guided vibe code experience where you can prompt virtually unlimited times, just iterate.
Yeah.
You can tell it to do a big task, or you can tell it to do a whole lot of small tasks. And I would say the third one is definitely the most robust in the sense of prompting can be the full development experience instead of just the start or the schema creation experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if are you sharing level 4?
I don't know. What do you think? Should we do it?
I think we've had a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of bridges the gap of how an AppSheet can we have that AI guided development after the schema creation.
Yeah. All right. So y'all throw some confetti in the chat or whatever you want to do to celebrate. I was super excited about this. I was experimenting with this tool all week and a lot last night, but this is bonus level. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. This is Antigravity. It's actually a desktop app. So we're usually working in the cloud, and I really haven't used desktop apps too much. Yeah, that's correct, Patrick. Level 3 doesn't map back to AppSheet, but if you use
unless they're connected to the same database. If they're connected to the same database, a Postgres database, you could have a AppSheet internal app and a AI Studio external facing app for clients or customers.
Yeah. So I'll show you guys a little bit of demo. I'll say some disclaimers with Antigravity. This is very experimental. It's pretty much brand new. And the feature that will allow you to bridge the gap and do prompt back and forth, like iterating on your AppSheet app, is the browser preview feature. So you can give it access to your browser. And this is the tool. So you just head over to like Google search Antigravity, and you can download it to your desktop. You'll want to sign in. And then on our, I'll go back here for a second. On this is where you'll want to get this prompt here. So there's a couple things that you can do. You can just tell it to go build on your AppSheet app, or Cam, who originally did this? Martin? Was that the guy who got this JSON Open API?
Martin Hoxie shared it inside of LinkedIn, but he actually credited QREW. So we were shared that Open API link from Rich Ellis on the Google AppSheet team, and it's a feature that's out, but it essentially you plug in your app ID right there, and it gives you a full JSON description of what your app has on the data side, on the action side, on the slices side, on the action spots, and so on.
Yep.
So
yeah, so it's pretty cool. I haven't been able to get it to work today. As you can see, I've been going through a few more chats. This is my original chat with Antigravity, and had it go and view the file. It'll view the file in your download folder. So you just have to give it its name, and then it'll work to figure out what it is. Once it figures that out, I asked it, why did it stop? You'll notice as you're working with experimental technologies, it just kind of bugs out sometimes. And then I said, just complete the table setup. It started renaming the tables and everything. I'm not sure if it's going to work today, but we can try. Or I guess during the live stream. So I'm going to ask it first, can you see this file in my downloads folder? If not, I have a few videos that I made that I can show you guys how it works in action. And read the file. Let's see what the file is called. Employee onboarding right here. Again, this one does take a while. So it's also when you're using the browser preview feature, it uses a lot of tokens. And you can also see here it's using Gemini 3.1 Pro. So you'll likely hit some like throttling, which may be why it's not working for me right now. Because
yeah, you're on the free plan right now.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh. Which one?
I mean, you don't have the subscription for.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Ultimately, you have much lower limits than a paid user on something like Cloud Code or Codex.
Yeah.
Which has the same feature of the desktop control, browser control.
Yeah. So it will take a while. I'll go ahead and show you guys the video I made yesterday. And just so that way y'all can see it kind of in action. Let's see, can I make this full screen? Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
So me experimenting with this at home yesterday, and you can see it working right here. And then this is it previewing it in the browser, and there's Antigravity kind of searching and finding the next table and go ahead and adding that table. And so you could just imagine like over time, as you're working on an app, you can kind of iterate over and over again with this type of tool. And as you can see, it's still working and loading. It does take a while, but I was really excited about Antigravity and the features that are possible. And the thing that I've heard and agree with a lot is that this is the worst it will ever be, and it's really good right now. So it's only going to get better.
Can I iterate on what you just showed?
Yeah.
There's a concept in robotics of specialized robots and solution agnostic, generalized robotics. A specialized robot would be something like a dishwasher. It's really good at washing dishes because its form factor, its design, its functionality is designed specifically wash dishes. But the second you tell it to do anything else other than a dishwasher to wash dishes, it becomes really bad.
Yeah.
But we also have robots that people are creating, like all the different humanoid robots that are meant to do a whole lot of random tasks. Maybe it's folding laundry. It's meant to do things. It's designed in the humanoid form factor in order to do the things that have been designed for humans to do in the past. So a clothes iron currently is designed for a human to hold and to work with. A laundry machine is made for a human to put the clothes into. A sink is made for a human to wash dishes out of. Everything that we've designed for the most part is made to be operated by a human. And so the most obvious generalized robot to build is a human. But that's all to interact with physical things. On the software side, we have things called API to interact as a specialized virtual robot to do specific tasks, add a record to this, make this sort of update, make this data change, call in this information. However, whenever those APIs don't exist, you need to interact with a user interface the way a human would interact with a user interface. And Antigravity, Codex, Cloud Code are all creating these generalized robots on the software side, which is just taking over the way that a human would interface with these visual UIs, these graphic user interfaces, and physically controlling the mouse and keyboard like a human would, so it can bridge the gap of there not being AI friendly tools for everything that is on the internet. And so it's really cool that they're building these tools that can do what we do on AppSheet, and we can guide it. And especially for the people who have not had 9-10 years of experience in AppSheet, it's able to lower that skill gap for even something like AppSheet, which is really cool.
Yeah. It seems to me like it's like the I guess like peak no code, and it's just going to get better. And so I'm really excited for what's going on in the technology landscape right now, and it's changing every day. So we're gonna stay current with it and get you guys the information and tell you guys which ones are still in experimental stage, and then which ones we're actually using for production. So a lot of these Antigravity, Google AI Studio, they're still very experimental. They're brand new. So we're doing just a lot of testing and iterating on it, and then using some of the other ones like the AI tasks feature, or like Cam was saying, connecting to the actual API in Vertex AI, or Gemini Enterprise as it's called now, to make sure that it is production ready and it is adding that actual business value. So there's the AI hype where a lot of cool new things are happening, and that you can kind of see and test the art of the possible. But then there's we got to get practical business things. So and that's where we'll come in and actually use the proven technologies. And that's really what we're here to do. And that's a good segue into our live Q&A, which we have a number of questions, but I'm actually going to just prompt you all again if y'all want to add some questions. Put them in the chat. But I have another slide at the end that I'll kind of land on, that we can kind of answer those questions while I'll stay on the call, and Cam for a little bit at the end. But I want to get to the announcements and next steps for you guys that stuck around. So free resources, again, they're on this slide presentation. If you haven't joined our free AppSheet training community, go ahead and go to appsheettraining.com and sign up for a free account. You'll get our Chrome extension, and you'll get in our newsletter. And so we're always giving out free resources. So want you guys to not miss out on that one. Live stream registration. This is where you'll get all the resources that we have on a weekly basis sent directly to your inbox. You can follow the appsheettraining.com/livestream one for that one. And then if you want this specific template, go ahead and follow that app template link there and the build instructions that come with it. But again, if you just register on appsheettraining.com, you'll get that sent straight to your inbox. So that covers all of that there. For next steps, if you enjoyed this content and want to see more of it, it always helps us if you like and subscribe. And then I'm also announcing the crew hallway. So if you want to meet us afterwards, me and Cam will stick around on a Google Meet call where we can actually talk with you. And we'll put that link here. And that's where we'll just be in there for like 15 minutes. Just say hi. You can ask questions about this live stream in particular. And then just a little bit of networking there. And then crew open office hours is also opening up next week. So it's the first announcement about it. There's a Google form to sign up, and then I'll send you a link for that one. We'll do those on Wednesdays. I believe it's at 2 p.m. Central Time, but I'll double check on the timing there, and include that in the follow-up email when you fill out the form. But we'll throw those links in the chat as well. Next, we have something for every person on this webinar. and live stream. So whether you consider yourself a creator, someone that's in the business building these apps on your own, or you're an IT leader or an operations leader, we have resources for you and services. And we'd love to meet with you guys. So if you feel like you're stuck over here in the what we call the chaos cloud, where you're seeing manual processes, spreadsheet chaos, lots of wasted hours, and you can't figure out how to map your business correctly or your business systems, that's what we're here to do. We want to get you to the connected cloud or a connected system. So end-to-end system. We specialize in custom architecture. We've got ROI projection when you come on a call with us, and we can get you those hours back. So that way you're not focused on how do I connect all these systems. We can handle that for you, or we can coach you on how to actually implement this in a structured way. We want to be that strategic advisor for you there. And so Cam just put it in the chat. If you want to set up a call, we'll stay on here for about 3 more minutes. And I'll y'all can scan this QR code, click the link, whichever's easier. It's free. It's a strategic discovery session. You'll get 30 minutes with me, and we'll go over your high-level business plan, certain processes that you're working on, and I can get you a workflow diagram, as well as how can you take this to the next level, how can you connect some of those systems. But yeah, with that, I'll give you guys some time. I'll be here for about 3 more minutes, so we'll end the stream at 10:25 Central Time. But during that time, while y'all are clicking the code and scheduling time on my calendar, go ahead and put in the chat too if you scheduled some time. That way I can make sure to get ready for those. And then me and Cam will also answer some of these questions that we may have missed until 10:25. And then after that, we'll be in the crew hallway, and we can connect with you guys. But let's see, Cam, do we get any other questions that we need to answer?
I think just that crew hallway thing is super exciting. If you didn't feel like one of your questions got answered, feel free to drop it back in the chat. I've been trying to be diligent in the chat, responding to you guys' questions. But yeah, one thing that we responded to was it got cut off halfway through the message. But here at QREW, we've have a lot of trust for our developers, and have allowed them to explore tools to improve their AppSheet development and the solutions that we can provide our clients. And so we've seen a lot of adoption internally of Antigravity, Cloud Code, and Codex to help us build tools, to help us improve documentation on the applications that we provide for our clients, to give suggestions on our DevOps process, and whenever we are creating new Trello cards for tasks, for it to give us maybe steps that we should complete in order to get something past QA. So to have a subjective measure of if something passes QA instead of the person building it setting up the requirements of QA. And so we've adopted AI in a lot of cool ways within QREW, and we are still pursuing what we think is the most valuable, safest way to implement AI for our customers, and the ways that they can allow their AI agents to be synergized with AppSheet. And we haven't quite found something that we want to promote and push as a standard, but we are looking diligently on ways that AI can help our customers as well. And we're definitely willing to chat with you about implementations that you have, that you would like us to partner with you, either on the AppSheet side or the AppSheet and the AI side. But ultimately, if you want to hear, if that's the burning question in your brain of how can AI help my app users, this is still the right place to have your thumb on the pulse. We are working diligently to get to you guys with AI solutions that you can have for your app users for the apps that you're building.
Awesome. Sweet, Cam. Well, I appreciate everybody that hopped on the live stream today, and hopefully you grabbed your session. And if you did, we'll see you over there. And for those of you that'll be on the crew hallway, I'll see you guys in just a minute. So grab your coffee. I'll be in the hallway, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, y'all. Peace.